I'll be reacting to High Guardian Spice episode 2. I'll be watching it from Crunchyroll's website, and I'll be starting my reaction from the 1 minute and 30-second mark in 1-0 go. It's orientation day. There are things I enjoyed about episode 1, so I hope episode 2 can build off of the positives of episode 1. I'm actually gotta give him some compliments. The characters moving in the backgrounds look pretty nice, actually. I'm assuming those are the teachers, at least. Oh, yeah, the blacksmith. I'm kind of glad they're introducing her a bit. Oh! You can already feel the edge radiating from her eyes. I wonder if they're going to make him go through some kind of hard trial. I wonder if that Dolo character is going to factor into the series later on. Because I don't think they'd be name dropping someone like that randomly. Okay, I like this old lady. I like how she's blunt and straight to the point. I wouldn't be surprised if Rosemary just says something random as fuck. I feel bad for whoever Doyle is. I like this. It fits in with the personalities established of Rosemary and Sage. Because with Sage, episode 1 did show off that she was a little bit more calculated. While Rosemary, something like this wouldn't deter her because, as episode 1 showed off, she's gung ho about things. I don't know, but what if there's dragons in the series that can shapeshift into like humanoid forms? Because that is something that's possible in magical series. I know that feeling when you want to be in the same class with a friend, but you're not with them. It always gets a little bit uncomfortable in the first few days trying to find anyone that you can find a sense of camaraderie with or a kindred spirit anyway. That's actually reasonable. Damn it. Rosemary, don't jinx it, damn it. Okay, I like that though. At least here we see Rosemary show off, like for the first time in the series. Well, aside from, of course, her mother, disappearing, we see her show off some legitimate concern. I like that. gives her some nice characterization. And it shows us that she's not gung ho about everything in every single moment, too. Damn. I'm assuming there'll be situations where things are going to be in the gray area, though. That would definitely challenge someone's perspective of ethics. Oh. Are we going to see something violent when it comes to one creature destroying the other one? As an example? It is Rosemary. I'm not. Yo, what a dick. Hey, that's on Rosemary. She should have seen it coming. Huh. At least they got some answers to some of the questions. Kind of like if Rosemary's at least building some tension against someone in the classroom, though. I'm assuming whoever that person is, they're going to factor on later on. And I'm assuming Rosemary and that person are going to become friends eventually. After a bit of butting heads. Because that's how it usually works in Western animated series. Hey, I mean, at least Sage is in the classroom with the most colorful characters. Could be worse. Hey, the teacher looks nice. Or who knows? He could be a fucking hard ass for all I know. Oh, oh snap! Damn, she doesn't have to be a condescending bitch. Oh. I kind of like this. At least it's emphasizing the fact, while yes, kind of has a theme of modern technology or modern methods of doing things are important, but you should never really forget the old ways of doing things too, because they connect with the new ways of doing things. I kind of like that subtle message there in that little bit of dialogue. Yeah, it's a message you get in a lot of other animated series of Western origins, but it works. What a show off! I love it. Although who knows, maybe he noticed something off. And maybe things are not going to be as easy as sparsely as they seem. Hey, that girl's. I think Sage's hat looks nice. Shit. But I kind of like this. Because if Rosemary were the. I kind of like how Sage is separate from Rosemary because Rosemary was there. You know she'd be backing up Sage. So I kind of wouldn't mind seeing Sage fend for herself. Whoa! Okay, at least one of her girls got promoted. Shit. Oh, hold on a minute, OG. Whoa. Okay, so it looks like that chick is friends with Snapdragon too. What Sage needs to do is just build up her self confidence a little bit more. That's all. Okay, I like how this is showing us more positive qualities of Rosemary. First episode didn't show enough of these type of positive qualities. I like how here she tries to build up her friend by mentioning Sage's legitimate good qualities. I hope we get to see more of this Rosemary and less of what we saw of her in episode 1. This is nice. I actually would want to see all of that. That sounds like it'd be epic. Okay, now that's actually fucking cool. I wouldn't mind if all our girls made separate choices. It's Rosemary. I'm not surprised she tuned out. Who's with the hand-to-hand combat? No. Okay, they could have animated the hand-to-hand combat stuff better there. They really could have. Dance might actually help her with her flexibility, actually. That seems more practical there. This actually, like seeing them actually try multiple things and failing. At least here, it's going to prevent me from thinking, all right, things are gift factor towards the girls. This actually is, again, a step up above episode 1 in certain bits because at least we see the girls try and fail at doing things instead of just succeeding from the get-go. Bitch girls don't have no choice. Whoa! Unfortunately, girls not going to have any. Oh. It'd be nice. What the fuck? Okay. Whoa. Okay, I like where this is going. Yes! Seeing that little girl suffer is fucking nice. But you know what? If it leads to her actually seeing the qualities of Sage, if Sage does cure her with the potion, I wouldn't mind seeing the little girl go through a redemption arc. I think they really are utilizing the gag of Rosemary dropping Bill by accident too many times. They used it a bit earlier when she accidentally hit Sage, and they kind of had a similar gag where she almost hit Thyme with the blade. Yo, should that even be allowed at a school? Well, I mean, how parents feel about the children potentially dying in curriculum? I hope there's no push. Hey, is she gonna let herself die for not having put? Oh, okay, that was fucking nice. I love. Okay, good, good, good. I love how the bitch was put in her place. I like that swag from Sage. All right, I wonder if we're gonna see Rosemary act competently for once in a serious situation. I would love to see that. No, don't tell me they actually skipped. Okay, good, good. Rosemary's still practicing. Oh, God. I was thinking that physical feats would be something that Rosemary would be easily capable of. I'm kind of shocked. Honestly, Percy made it look easily though so far. But yeah, I mean, Rosemary having struggles is actually reasonable. I'm assuming the right answer is going to be a combination of multiple answers that the students have combined into one. That's going to be my guess. Oh, hello, Spiral Matt. I haven't seen Yuri Yuri yet, but I'll consider it one of these days, Spiral Matt. I'll have to look up that character design later. I like the little touch of animation where Sage's hat like goes into another person, then she gets it back. That's a nice touch. Okay. It looks like, yeah, all those answers are good. I'm assuming it's going to be all those answered, but combined. That's going to be my guess. Yeah, I'm still new onto the series too, Spiral Matt. That sounds like. Okay, I actually like that when it comes to the old one saying that. Gives her a bit of liveliness. Okay, I actually don't mind the emphasis on legacy here. Guardian Heist Guardian Spice right now, Spiral Matt, if I had to say, it's okay. It's not as bad as what people are making it out to be on Crunchyroll with the dislike bombing. It's not great. It's fine. The series is fine. Pretty much. It has good moments here and there, but also has bad moments too, Spiral Matt. It's for now the first two episodes are mixed. It has more moments that I like than I dislike, but it's a little uneven. I'm assuming the hazing's only just starting. Okay, they kind of made Rosemary a little bit stupid here. She knows that being a guardian is dangerous because of what happened to her mother in the flashback episode 1. I think they made Rosemary a bit too stupid there. She knows what it entails to be a guardian. Okay, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the last bit. I'm like, oh, Edie. I'm gonna lower the volume. I don't like. I do. Here's one thing about this series. I do not like the Edie lyrics in the song. I like the Edie visuals, but not the song. I'm gonna just turn down the audio to zero. Izzy Rose, is this show good? It's okay. It's not good. It's just okay. It's average. Like it's completely average. So, would I recommend it? I wouldn't really know. Probably, I would need to see more episodes, but it's average. Like literally, Izzy Rose. If I were to rate this series overall, I'm gonna watch the whole series. I'm gonna watch the whole series, but I rate the series overall. Is it worth watching? Not yet. I'm gonna see more episodes, Spiral Matt, because for all I know, this series could eventually become worth watching. But if I were to rate it, the series overall for the first two episodes on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, 10 being exceptional, I'd give it a 5 out of 10 overall. So is the show good, Izzy Rose? Not really, but it's not bad either. It's okay. If you really want a good show to watch, it's Modao Sushi from Tencent. That's a show worth watching, and that ended actually like 2 weeks ago. The series, I could link that to you. Modao Sushi is an animation from China. Now that is worth watching, and all the episodes are free on YouTube online. This series is worth watching. Modao Sushi. This one, although it's a yaoi though, but it's the best. It is the best damn yaoi action supernatural series I've ever seen. Like this will make action, well, most action animated series look like shit in comparison to Modao Sushi. It's that good. And here's a link. That's the link to episode 1. It's on YouTube, so you don't even have to pay money. It's on. But Spiral Matt, Modao Sushi is different. Modao Sushi is a yaoi that has great writing and great characters. Like this series, here's what makes it different from the yaoi. The personality traits of the characters, they really don't put much emphasis on the boys love him element. They put emphasis on the personalities of like how one of the characters is a trickster, jokester, troll type character. But when it comes to like defending his family members, he's self-sacrificial to a point where it's sort of toxic towards himself sometimes, where he treats himself a little bit too badly. I'm not going to say which character, but one of the main characters is like that. Another main character is super strict when it comes to following the rules exactly, and it does kind of make him closed off of other people that like him. For Mono Sushi, it's based off of source material that's got boys love elements, but they get rid of it in the donghua because Chinese censorship. So instead of there being boys love, it's mostly just bromance. Although, trust me, Mono Sushi is better than most Yuri anime I've seen. It makes most Yuri anime look like dog shit. Like it does. Mono Sushi is an epic. Most Yuri anime, I'm like, you're okay. Mono Sushi, I'm like, yo. And the 11th episode actually made me tear up too. Like, it's 11th episode of the series. It's depressing as fuck. Like, Yuri animes wished it was as good as Mono Sushi. It wished they were as good. It wished they had like the same production values and the same amazing voice casts and the glorious background art. It's one of the few animated series where it can have a freaking commercial about freaking ice cream during a fucking episode. And I will fucking praise it because it's so animated. I'm like, oh, this is a commercial? Okay, this is cool. Most series, when they have commercials, I'm like, why the fuck should I care? Mono Sushi does it. I'm like, good fucking job. You need to do more of those. But yeah, that's how good Mono Sushi is. And there's a link for anyone that wants to see Mono Sushi. That's the series I was watching. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. I enjoyed this episode, but there were weaknesses, though. Let me explain some of them. They relied too much on the gag of Rosemary being clumsy. We got to see that when she almost accidentally sliced thyme. Don't get me wrong. The bit where she nudged Sage was kind of funny, but then when she drops multiple people, trust me, from what I heard, it's better than King's Avatar because, just so you know, the studio that did King's Avatar season 1 did all of Mono Sushi seasons. So, if anything, Mono Sushi has a way higher budget than King's Avatar. Because King's Avatar, only season 1 was done by the studio that did Mono Sushi, and then they just focused on Mono Sushi afterwards. So, it fucking wrecks King's Avatar visually. It's second and third seasons because it's the same studio that did season 1 only. The thing is with Spiral Matt, they make Rosemary a bit too clumsy, though, because they use that same gag again when she's training alongside all the other students and she drops everyone. Like, this series sometimes relies on the same gags a little bit too much. Like, don't get me wrong. The gag with Rosemary accidentally dropping people was nice the first time, maybe the second time. But when they use it the third time, Spiral Matt, it gets annoying. It gets a little bit old. And don't get me wrong. I do like some of the messaging in the episode narratively where it mentions how you need to have some tradition in order to like enhance the new methods of doing things. And I like that. I love the emphasis of that. But the thing is, though, that was probably one of the few lecturing scenes that I liked in the episode. All the other lecturing scenes, like the things involving ethics, it was a little bit drab, I ain't going to lie, because I was imagining that the teacher was going to talk more about how ethics isn't just black and white, that there are going to be things in the gray area. I was kind of hoping for that. I was like, oh, right, we're going to see some epic lecture about how not just ethics are black and white, but there are sometimes ethic things that are in the gray area where not every decision you're going to make is going to be the right one, and that there are going to be situations where all the choices and answers are all shitty in their own way. No, we didn't get to see that. So any nuance that the series could have had in that specific lecture scene was kind of destroyed. So that's why it was a little bit uneven in some bits in the episode narratively. Well, it's because we've seen so many series that things become cliche. So at that point, it matters more about execution. But yeah, that's my issue with some of the writing bits in the episodes sometimes. And don't get me wrong, I like how this episode had some stakes. Like that bit in the episode where we see Sage having to make the potions for all the students because if she doesn't, the students will die was good. I just felt, though, that scene could have been elevated further in the episode. They would have had like more dramatic music with maybe some of the students coughing up blood or some shit, you know? It just felt a little bit too clean, like the students were transforming into like animal like facial features, and I'm like, this scene could have had a little bit more tension if the animators would have had a little bit more creativity in portraying the danger that the students were in with some better music. With the way the episode did it, it felt too matter of fact. Don't get me wrong. The bit where Sage gives the potions to all the other students was good. I liked it. But I feel like the lack of budget that the series has is kind of hurting it a little bit. Because I felt like if this would have been in the hands of, say, a higher budgeted production, that scene would have been absolute. Because I've seen other animated series that are in similar situations where characters have to come up with a potion or they will die. Like, say, for example, Precure and Little Witch Academia had a way better budgets in this series. But let me give you an example. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 3. There was an episode where Joseph Joestar had like this weird-ass creature in his arm. And the thing is, that scene was elevated because there was epic music, grandiose stakes, and it was intense with great visuals. This series could have something similar, but the animators botched it. So that's why, while there were things I liked narratively in the episode, like for example, I like seeing Parsley succeed. That was nice. I like seeing Rosemary struggle too. That was a surprise. I thought she was gonna. Don't get me wrong. I thought she was gonna fuck up in the ethics classes because Rosemary ain't that smart. But her fucking up in the physical stuff was a big surprise. I like that little twist. But I hope there's better execution in episode 3 because I'm starting to lose a little bit patience with the series. It's like, come on, at least make things a little bit more interesting. And saying that, though, narratively, the episode wasn't a complete failure, though. I mean, there were some things I like here and there. From a character standpoint, I actually thought I did better this week. I mean, I meant to say this episode than the previous episode because at least here, we get to see more of Rosemary's positive traits. Yeah, we got to see her negative traits like clumsiness. But my goodness, seeing her actually try to lift up her girl, Sage, after the roughness she went through was actually really good. It made Rosemary feel like a character instead of a character that's just there for comedic relief for once. I like that. Seeing her struggle during that bit where she was trying to tame the creature was nice. Yes, the episode did shortchange her, though, because I would have loved to have seen how she tamed that creature instead of it just happening off screen because it's like the previous episode. How in the hell am I going to feel accomplishments from Rosemary if they just skip through it? They did a good job in showing us Parsley's and Sage's accomplishments. We got to see Parsley make some badass looking weapons on screen. We got to see Sage make potions on screen. But we didn't get to see Rosemary tame that beast. So that's from a character standpoint. Even though, yes, there are some positives for Rosemary, the writers still found a way to shortchange her. And saying that, I love what they did with Sage, though. I love how it started out where she didn't have much confidence, but then when she was set up for the opportunity to help the whole classroom and talk like a swagger with like a badass, telling that bully to thank her. Oh man, that was cool. Yeah, I'll try looking at it then. And that's why I thought the episode, even though it was uneven when it came to like Rosemary, I like what they did with Sage and to an extent Parsley. And that's what I thought from a character standpoint, it did decent. But damn, the writers need to do a better job when it comes to handling Rosemary because with the way they've been handling Rosemary so far, it's been a little disappointing to say the least. I expect more. Now, even though the script was uneven, I will give the episode credit for this. At least there was some background animation with characters moving. So it wasn't just the main characters moving on the foreground. It was everyone else in the background moving. Did it look a little bit uneven at times? Yes, it did. You had characters move like robots sometimes. But for the most part, the animation, it worked. Artwork was on model. It was on. I'm not going to praise Rosemary Sparrowman until she does something worthy of praise. I will praise Sage, though. As y'all know, I like Sage a lot in this series. She's the only reason why I'm still watching this. Sage. Pretty much Sage and Parsley. That's it. Rosemary? If this series literally had to live and die off of Rosemary, I would have still seen it, but it would have felt like torture. Thankfully, though, Rosemary has her friend Sage to balance her up. Because if she didn't have her, oh man, this series would be such a drag to get through. It would feel like getting through torture if it wasn't for her friend. So, thank you for existing, Sage, because this series really needs someone like Sage. A fuckload. Like, you'll have no idea how much Sage lifts up the series. Like, she carries this series on her back, Sage. Oh, yeah. That's why I thought of the visuals. Well, yes, it wasn't the prettiest animation I've seen. It wasn't bad. I got the job done. The voice acting for Rosemary could have been better, but hey, at least the actress sounded better in this episode than the previous episode. As always, though, I thought Sage's actress did a good job. I have no complaints there. I did feel like Parsley could have put in a bit more effort there. You can definitely tell Parsley's voice actress didn't feel as natural. So from a voice standpoint, I thought the teacher sounded good. Sage sounded good. But I kind of hope from more when it comes to Parsley and Rosemary's voice actresses. They're main characters, for Pete's sake. I expect more from those two voice performers. I expect way more. It cannot be that Sage's actress is the only one that sounds good. The whole main cast has to sound good too. It cannot be just one character lifting the series, because one character, even series that are carried by one character will eventually fall apart when that one character isn't on screen. And considering the series has same equal screen time as all the others, it really needs to do better with Rosemary and Parsley. Especially Rosemary, though. As for the other elements, like, say, the music was okay. And that's why if I had to rate the episode overall on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, 10 being exceptional, I'll get a 5.25 out of 10. I'm only giving it a slight bidge above average only because I like Sage a lot. But damn, I better see something not epic, but damn, something substantial from the other characters not named Sage, for Pete's sake. Fuck. In episode 3. I mean, this is episode 2 now. Well, yeah, but even then, at least Subaru was entertaining, though. Even though he does some crazy shit, he's entertaining. Subaru is entertaining, at the very least, because he's balanced out by Puck. And that series is carried by its pretty visuals, too. But yeah, I'll be ranking episode 3, but if the episode 3 doesn't start to show improvements, I'm definitely going to be a bit more harsher with my episode 3 reaction than my episodes 1 and 2, because I was like, you know what? All right, episodes 1 and 2 are dipping my feet, but episode 3, I hope I start seeing some magic in episode 3. When that magic, hope I start seeing better characterization from Rosemary, some extra. I don't know how it is when it comes to this series at all, because I don't read the comments. But let me see. Well, going by Crunchyroll, Sproul and Matt, it seems like people also seem to like Sage because they find it relatable. So, yeah. But no, a lot of series are like that. But yeah, these are my thoughts overall. I thought overall it was okay. And I'll definitely be ranking episode 3. But I need to see more in the 3rd episode. I'll still react to all the other episodes, though. Even if episode 3 ends up being a fucking transfer dumpster fire that's 1 out of 10 worthy, I'm still going to watch it. I just won't enjoy it if the series doesn't get better. And currently, episode 2 has 61 likes and 59 dislikes. I'll give it an extra like to give it a 62 likes on episode 2. But yeah, these are my thoughts on the episode, y'all. But anyways, Right before I go, though, let me just say thank you very much to Animated OG, Spiral Matt, and Easy Rose. Thank you very much for commenting on the live chat. Everyone else, thank you very much for watching my video. Hope y'all rate it, share it, comment, subscribe. And I will see y'all later if you come back for more, because I'll probably be reacting to episode 3 tomorrow, because I'm going to react to the Hiki story and the other anime I react to usually on Thursdays. But anyways, y'all, thank you very much for watching my video. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.